How can I complain about a career that I had? Jake the Snake has touched a lot of people. What I did was very special to them.
You don't play around with people like me. Because people like me, we just don't play.
There's a lot of satisfaction that comes out of doing a great promo. Promos for me were fun.
That WrestleMania 6 promo.
That promo was special.
How'd you come up with the DDT?
By accident. After that, I started working with it. Every time somebody does it, what do people say?
That's Jake the Snake's move.
And if Jake did it, what would happen?
They wouldn't be able to kick out.
That's right.
Does it bother you that you didn't win a championship in WWE?
No. Would I have liked a championship? Yeah.
People were really excited to see you in AEW.
Oh, yeah, they were. Still working for them.
Did you see this impression that Will Sasso did of you?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think?
Did a hell of a job, man. I think he might be studying my character a bit too much.
He had like the low voice that you do. He had that down.
He nailed it pretty solid, man. I'm quite impressed, actually.
That seemed a lot like that WrestleMania 6 promo.
It's exactly what it was. Yeah.
What went into coming up with that promo?
Oh, like I'm going to remember that? Please.
It's one of your most iconic promos of all time.
Well, there was a lot of them. You just didn't hear all of them. That interview, that promo, man, was special, but I don't remember how it all came about. Promos for me were a game. They were fun. And anything that's fun, you'll spend more time doing.
Sure.
You know, and I like playing with people's minds. I like mixing the words up and finding stuff that works. You know, a lot of guys, maybe after a show, they'll go out and eat or chase skirts or whatever, but not me. Wherever I was at, I had a pen and paper and I was thinking about doing a promo, writing down ideas. And finally, I had to go to a recorder because sometimes, man, I'd wake up the next morning and read some of the stuff I'd wrote, and I'm like, oh, my God, what the hell was I thinking about? You know, couldn't believe what kind of shit I wrote down, man. But, yeah, I love spending time on promos.
Where were you getting your inspiration? Was it from books? Was it from movies?
Books, movies, music, all the above. You know, I love Ozzy Osbourne stuff. I love Pink Floyd stuff. I love Rolling Stones, of course, and The Who. They had some good stuff, man.
Because, and you've heard this 1,000 times before, nobody cut a promo like that at that point in time.
No, nobody has. I don't think they ever will. You know, they've taken that out of their hands these days. They've got stuff written for them, so that's a shame.
The whole idea behind a promo is telling a story.
Yeah.
And what you're doing now with your podcast, it's along the same line, right? It's not telling a story in the same way, but you're telling stories on the podcast.
Yeah, just having fun.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah. So if anybody's never tuned into the podcast before, what can they expect?
The unexpected. I
don't even know what's going to go on.
I don't have a clue. I don't want to know. If I know, I'd screw it up. You know, I want it fresh. I want it to slap me right in the face when it comes out. That's why I think it's always fresh, man, because I don't think about it.
Snake Pit Podcast. So wherever anybody's listening to this, they can go check that out.
Yeah.
And you're basically telling a lot of the stories from your career.
From the road, from the locker rooms, life. Sometimes we get serious. We talk about addiction. You know, something near and dear to my heart. You know, I certainly spend a lot of time with it. But no, we do talk about some things that hit home sometimes.
You feel like you still spend a lot of time with it now?
You know, for me, the smell of alcohol turns my stomach. I can walk through an airport blindfolded and I can tell you where the bars are at. Because I can tell that smell, you know. And it upsets my stomach now. And I'm glad. That's the last damn thing I need, is to go down that road again. And I have no fear at all. Maybe that's not healthy, not having a fear of it, but I just feel so strongly that that's something I'll never do again.
What did it take for you to get to that point?
A lot of damn work. It took a lot of work and a lot of patience and some good friends.
If it wasn't for DDP, you think you'd be sitting here right now?
Nope. No doubt in my mind. I've been dead several years ago.
Wow.
Several years ago. That's just where I was going, man. And I was going fast, too. No sense of trying to walk into it, Jake. Just run down the hill and jump in that shit. Yeah.
Does it give you like a different appreciation for the time you have now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The time I have now left, I've got COPD. I've got emphysema. That's just part of living and dying, But at least I know it's not going to be my next breath before I leave. I've got a little ways left. And
You got a long ways left.
I enjoy life. I enjoy doing what I do. I try to stay busy. I've got my hobbies that I do. I've got my hot rod that I play with. 1965 Cadillac sedan DeVille. Convertible. Yeah, sky blue, black interior. It's a beast. And right now I'm having another engine built for it that has 700 horsepower.
Wow.
For you, those that don't know, that's some son of a bitch.
What's this Hall of Fame cruise that I saw you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the cruise, man. That's something these cats come up with, man. I mean, I'd done the Jericho cruise before.
Yeah.
And did my comedy show on it. And they came back to me and said, hey, would you be interested in hosting a cruise yourself? I'm like, holy crap. Sure, why not? And so they put it out there, and there's going to be about 200 people on the boat. And we're going to have a real good time, man.
This is February, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the dates, the 23rd to the 28th, I believe. Trusting my memory. But, yeah, it's going to be fun because I'm not the only cat going to be on there, of course. There's going to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan's going to be on it. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. No, that's not right. Let me think. Bushwhacker Luke. That's it. I knew it was one of them, one of the two. They look so much alike.
When you're on something like that, interacting with fans, and you're here at WrestleCon, what's the one thing that people are always coming up to you and saying?
Oh, the first thing they say, where's the snake? You know what I mean?
Well, where's the snake?
Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah. Oh, man. They want to talk about everything. And I encourage those people that are coming on the cruise to come and talk to me. That's what I'm there for. I actually want to hear what you have to say. I like hearing the stories about when you were growing up and, your dad or your grandfather or your grandparents took you to the show or you watched me on television. I like hearing all that stuff because I realize that Jake the Snake has touched a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. And for some reason, what I did was very special and very special to them. And they hold on to it. And it's a fond memory for them. And if I would love to go through life just making everybody happy. That would really be a lot of fun to do, I think.
What do you think it was about your character at that time, in a time where there were all kinds of larger-than-life characters? What made you stand out?
Because it was taboo. Snake's bad. It's evil. Of course it is. That's why I chose it.
What was the last time that you were with a snake? You had a snake?
Oh, God. It's been a couple of years.
Okay. So I think that people have this misconception that you handle snakes all the time.
I don't like snakes at all. I'm terrified of them. They scare the piss out of me. And you never get used to getting bit. Trust me.
You might have picked the wrong gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have been like Billy the Bug. Just carry a cockroach around. If I shoved a cockroach in your ear, that would mess with your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially your ear.
Yeah.
Little cockroach dung in there.
If you're looking to shed a few inches and lose that stubborn belly fat from the comfort of your own home, Pure Plank is something you gotta check out. If you saw my interview with Adam Copeland or Christian Cage, they both talked about how they're now in the best shape of their lives, and their secret is planking. And they designed a product that makes this exercise comfortable, functional, and fun, and that, my friends, is Pure Plank. The best part about it is you can see results in just 3 minutes a day. Pure Plank's soft rubber padding ensures that planks are comfortable no matter how long you hold them, and their handles guide you into the perfect plank position every time with optimal body alignment. Look, the problem with planking is that it's boring and it's uncomfortable, and Pure Plank has solved that problem with the mat and the handles. When you grip onto those handles, you can really feel the burn. Plus, they have an awesome app which allows you to get a wide variety of different exercises. And they were kind enough to create the discount code CVV to get 10% off when you go to gopureplank.com, or when you just click that link down below in the description.
So even all these years later, you don't like snakes?
Still don't, man.
Huh.
Still don't. They scare the piss out of me. They're so damn quiet.
Why'd you pick this? Like,
because of that. Because most people are afraid of snakes. Your parents tell you, from the get-go, keep away from snakes. And that's ingrained in you. It's sort of, it's just something that is taught to us from the very beginning. And, kids dig it because mom and dad can't stand it. It makes mama squirm. They love to see your mother squirm. I still love seeing that.
How'd you come up with the name Damien?
It just seemed devilish. Yeah.
And that's it?
That was it.
I think what's so interesting about it is people don't realize that it was a different snake in every city.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a different snake. We changed snakes about every 10 to 12 days.
So how do you get acquainted to the new Damien?
Reaching your hand in that damn bag. That's all over after that.
Come on.
I'm serious, brother. That's how bad it was, man. I never knew what the hell I was getting. I didn't know if it was going to be a poodle or a Doberman.
Now, these were typically boa constrictors, right?
Pythons.
Oh, pythons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically pythons, yes.
Now, how often are you sticking your hand in there and you're getting met with some fangs?
Actually, I never stuck my hand in there. I would dump it out and then judge what kind of mood it was in.
Based on what?
On its reactions.
Whether he was trying to bite you or not?
Right. Whether he was coming at me or coiling, getting ready to launch. Yeah.
So you had to learn a lot about snakes pretty quickly.
Yeah, you do learn pretty quick once you get bit the first time. It's amazing how much time you'll put into it.
How many times you figure you've been bit in your career?
Oh, 15, 20.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are pretty nasty. I got one on the inside of my arm here. It was 30-something stitches.
Man. What kind of, it was
a big reticulator python.
Man.
He tore the hell out of my arm. Yeah, it's crazy because they tell you, if you happen to get bit by the snake, whatever you do, don't move. Excuse me? When something bites you, the first thing you do is react, and you react by jerking your arm away. And that's exactly what happened. When you do that, it rips. It rips your flesh.
Who was the wrestler that was the most scared of your snakes?
Probably Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd think being from a jungle that he'd be okay with that.
So what was his reaction?
He was funny. He'd come to me and he'd say, Mr. Jake, now you keep that Damien away from me because you know I'm afraid of him, and I know your daddy really well, and we good friends. We go to church together. You bring that snake around me, and I'm going to tell your daddy on you.
Was Andre the Giant legitimately scared of snakes?
No, of course not.
He just played it real well.
He did a phenomenal job of playing that off.
That was such a funny moment in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You bring Damien out of the bag, and he sends himself over the top rope.
Exit stage left.
But he was cool with snakes?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, Damien bit him once, and he didn't even know he'd been bitten. He just shrugged it off and kept going. And he got back to the locker room, and he was sitting down playing cards, and Rick Rude come up and pull the two fangs out of his shoulder.
What?
Yeah, they were about 2 inches long.
That's
They were
crazy.
embedded in his shoulder.
Man.
You didn't even know it. Oh, snake hungry.
I always wondered, you held the bag like very close to your shoulder like this. What was the psychology behind the way that you held the snake bag?
Support the damn weight, bro.
That was it.
Hell yeah. You wanted to get that weight up on the shoulder. You didn't want it hanging off of you.
It almost looked like menacing, the way that you would like have it up there.
Yeah,
Would be like
I get it.
close to your, neck, close to your shoulder.
Yeah.
But the real reason was just it was heavy.
Yeah, it was very heavy.
What would one of those things typically weigh?
Oh, anywhere from 65 to 150.
Jeez. Did anybody give you any sort of crash course in like, all right, you've decided you're going to be Jake the Snake Roberts?
I had a guy. Everybody's got a guy. I had a guy that knew a lot about him, but I didn't really want to learn about him because I didn't want to know about him. I just wanted to know how to pick it up and get it back in that damn bag. That's all I was interested in, man. I didn't want to know how it felt or if he was having a good day or what. I just wanted to get him in and out of that bag.
Did it help if it was a male snake, female snake?
Nah, not that I know of.
Huh. Interesting. How'd you come up with the DDT?
By accident. It was by accident. I had a front face lock on a guy, and he went to push me back into the corner. And when he did, he stepped on my foot. And when he did, that made us go down, which I jumped to my feet because I was a babyface at the time, and I was embarrassed that I tripped and fell. And I spun to my feet, and the people are like, oh. I'm like, what the hell? And I looked at him, and he's still down. I'm like, are you all right? Are you all right? Whoops. Not all right.
Maybe I'm onto something here.
This might work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what happened, man. And after that, I started working with it and trying to figure it out. Figure out a way to do it where I could protect the guy too, you know. That's the most important thing. Last thing I want to do is hurt somebody out there.
How does it make you feel that the DDT is not used as a finisher anymore?
Oh, I think it's great.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
But it's used as like a...
Every time somebody does it, what do people say?
That's Jake the Snake's move.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if Jake did it, what would happen?
They wouldn't be able to kick out.
That's right. So therefore, Jake must be better than that guy. Absolutely.
When was the first time you saw somebody else do it? Did they ask you permission?
No.
Okay.
Kidding. Not in this business. They rape and destroy everything.
But it was, like for you, it was like you hit it, it was over.
Oh, yeah.
Now people are hitting it like 3 moves into a match.
Yeah, well, it just shows you how desperate they are.
Interesting.
They're wanting to get somebody's reaction. Well, what's the quickest way to get somebody a reaction? Hit them with a DDT, which tells me that it still works.
What about these like variations of it? Like,
I think it's great.
Like
man.
Nick would do the double arm DDT.
Yeah.
Gangrel would do the impaler.
Right.
Yeah. But it all starts with you.
Man. It all started with me, and I got into it by accident. It's like the short arm clothesline. I do that, and there's only a few people doing that.
We'll get right back to the conversation in just a second. This episode is brought to you by Jordan Craig, and they've got a massive Black Friday sale going on right now. 30% off site-wide. Check out Jordan Craig's latest styles and streetwear at jordancraig.com. And if you happen to be watching this after Black Friday, that's okay. Just use the code CVV for 15% off anything site-wide. What I'm wearing here right now and what I've worn during a lot of interviews is the Uptown Crewneck sweatshirt. All of their fleece is fantastic. So is their denim. So is their outerwear. Really everything. Braun Strowman wore Jordan Craig denim during his WrestleMania 39 match, and he looked great while doing it. This coat that former AEW champion Swerve Strickland wore, that, my friends, is from Jordan Craig. So head to jordancraig.com to take advantage of their 30% off site-wide Black Friday sale, or if you're watching this after Black Friday, use that code CVV for 15% off at jordancraig.com.
What's the story behind your voice and the way that it sounds?
Well, the story behind it is pretty simple. I got my voice box crushed. I got a knee in my throat. 1975, 76. The guy went to drop a knee into my shoulder and chest and landed in my throat. It crushed my voice box.
Were you not able to talk at all for a while?
No, couldn't. Yeah, a couple of weeks.
So, everyone knows you for the style of promo that you have where it's subdued, it's quiet.
Yeah.
Before that, before the voice box was crushed, what did your promo sound like?
Not the same at all. Not at all. More like a 14-year-old girl. That hasn't went through puberty yet. The gruffness of it or everything is from the accident, but the timing and all that, I still had to put all that in, and my material still had to come from somewhere, and it comes from time on the road. That's where you get your interviews and stuff. Time alone, time on the road, time, writing this stuff down, stuff that makes sense to you, cute stuff, mean stuff, bad stuff. There's all sorts of places to put information. And you just kind of keep those stockpiled, man. And I know I never went out there with a bunch of notes in my hand or anything like that. I just try to remember 2 or 3 little sayings and then just do an interview around those sayings. Maybe sometimes 10, 12 words. That would be about the most. But, yeah, interviews to me were just a blast to do. So, like I said, if it's fun, you want to do it more, and that's what we did.
How much of a role was Mean Gene playing in those?
None.
Really?
None.
Does he tee you up and say, "Do you want me to say this so you can?"
Nope.
Really?
He was the ultimate pro.
Huh.
He knew where to go.
Yeah.
He knew where not to go too.
Okay.
Because I told him, I said, Gene, if you go there, you will see that snake again. And I would have put the snake on him.
Mean Gene didn't like snakes?
He was terrified of it. But Gene had a bad habit of being cute on interviews, trying to get that last word in.
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit. Because he would let you finish what you're saying, then as you walk off, he'd hit you with the last word and steal your interview.
He did that in your WrestleMania 6 promo. The famous DiBiase promo.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact line. Maybe you guys remember it. Like someone couldn't have said it better or something.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, I would have put the snake on him for sure.
Does it bother you that you didn't win a championship in WWE?
No, not at all. My God, I'm grateful I did not. I had to carry that too. Carrying a 50 or 60 or 75 pound snake around, and we'd be on the road for 2 and 3 weeks at a time, all your clothing, everything you got to carry, man. The last thing I want is a 10-pound belt to carry around too. Would I've liked to have had a championship? Yeah, of course. That would have been something. But I'd had several championships up until then. You know, maybe not WWF championship, but I'd had several. I had it in Calgary. I had it in Louisiana and Mid-South. I had it in Texas. I had it, different places around Mid-Atlantic. So I'd had my time with the belts. I mean, it was all right. I would have liked to have had the money that is associated with that belt. But how can I complain about a career that I had?
When you look at the people you worked with and the storylines you were involved in, do you feel like there was a moment where, like, if things had gone a different way, maybe you would have lined up for a title?
Yeah.
With who?
They could have with Macho.
Yeah.
With Macho or with Hulk. The fans screwed me out of that. So
What do you mean?
Well, we tried to shoot an angle between Hulk and I.
Yeah.
And we did it. And whenever I got back to the curtain, I was told to stand there and wait for the people to start chanting Hulk, Hulk, Hulk. And they didn't. They started chanting DDT, DDT. And Vince looked at me and he goes, "You're screwed. That's the end of your angle." We tried to wrestle twice. Once in Providence, Rhode Island, and another time in Montreal. And over 50% were chanting DDT. And Vince did not want that because that screwed up the marketing. You know, the marketing's where the money's at.
When you're supposed to be a heel.
And I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, but I was the first anti-hero.
Yeah.
No doubt. You know, bad guy that people loved.
I find it interesting the way you talk about what goes into the promo work that you did. It almost sounds therapeutic in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Did you find it to be therapeutic?
Oh, yeah. I love doing it, man. There's a lot of satisfaction that comes out of doing a great promo. A lot. Well, you know that from doing what you do.
Sure.
You know when you've done a good job and when you haven't. And you know when the show's good and when it's not.
Yeah.
And if you have a bad show, you don't go out and celebrate it, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. What credit do you take for the birth of Austin 316?
I don't need any credit. You know, I was the guy that said Steve Austin was going to be the next big superstar. That I'll take credit for. Because Vince McMahon didn't think he was going to be anything better than a middle-of-the-card gopher. And I argued the point that this is going to be your next superstar. Well, at the time, I was helping write television. So I had something to say about it. So it was pretty simple to get him lined up where we would do something in the ring together so I could make him that superstar. Some people say without Jake the Snake, there would be no Steve Austin. Well, I disagree there.
I don't know. The Austin 316 promo probably wouldn't have happened.
It got it quicker, got him there quicker, but he would have still done it.
Do you remember hearing that promo?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what you thought about it at the time?
Oh, it was great.
And then within, weeks after that, I guess probably the next week, start seeing Austin 316
Oh, yeah.
signs
T-shirts
everywhere?
And T-shirts. And
That got
else.
over in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot.
But if you think about it, if you weren't doing the angle that you were doing at that time, Steve's path would have looked a little bit different.
Yeah, it would have. It would have. But I was glad to do it for Steve.
Yeah. But the whole basis of that promo, talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Where do you feel most proud when you look back on your career?
With what I'm doing now. With what I'm doing now. Everything before was pretty clouded and tainted. You know? I often wonder just how good I could have been. You know, had I not chose the road that I chose. Because I certainly had enough alcohol and drugs in me to change my path. And that's exactly what happened. But how good could a Jake been without the drugs and alcohol? I have no idea.
Do you also think that maybe you were that good because that was the path you were on?
Yeah, I've thought about that too, because it helped mold me. It gave me that dark side, that angry side, the shameful side. But
And maybe it helped your professional career.
it's a hell of a price to pay, bro.
Yeah.
A hell of a price to pay, man. I don't wish that on anybody. No.
And you've been sober now how long?
12, 13 years.
Yeah. Is that something you're really proud of?
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. I had a couple people come by today, and thank me for putting my story out there, because that gave them the courage to try to get sober. And those are proud moments there. That makes me feel real good. And I just don't want anybody to go through the shit I went through. 'Cause it's not any fun, man.
When was it at its worst?
Oh. In the late 90s, early 2000s, it was an everyday occurrence.
But look at you now.
Yeah, I survived.
I mean, and you're thriving now.
Yeah, I'm flourishing.
Yeah. How do you feel in your day-to-day now?
Oh, body still aches, but that's going to happen. But hell, I'm 70 years old. It should ache.
I think people were really excited to see you in AEW.
Oh, yeah, they were.
How did that come together?
Absolutely. Somebody picked up the phone, gave me a call. I said yes, and off we went.
And that was it?
That was it. Still working for them.
You're still working for AEW?
Yep.
It's been a while since we've seen you there.
Yeah, it's been a while since you seen me on television, but I still work for them.
You're still under contract with them? I did not know that.
Now you do.
Okay. Yeah. So you could pop up at any point in time.
Whenever they want me, I'll be there.
In what capacity would you be there? As a manager?
As a manager, yeah.
Yeah. You cut some great promos with Lance Archer.
Yeah.
What was it like working with him?
Lovely. He's such a beast. God almighty. What a beast.
He's a big dude.
A big, rough, strong dude.
Yeah.
That can do some pretty amazing stuff for a man his size.
Are there maybe some other people you might represent there, might be a manager for there?
I hope not.
You just want to be with Lance?
Just him.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Yeah. It's what you guys did together was pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got some more tricks up our sleeves.
Okay. Yeah.
But, I love working for them. And I got, my hot rod that I play with. And, of course, my fishing that I love so much.
I'm big into fishing, too. What are you?
Oh.
Bass fishing for me.
Stripers.
Oh, man. Those are big, nasty fish.
Yeah, they're lovely.
So what's your biggest striper?
Oh, 26, 27.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's good size.
Yeah.
But I dream of a 50-pounder. I can't imagine what it would be like.
Seriously?
I mean, that 20 had that rod bent completely over, double back on my ass.
What'd you catch it on?
It was just with a minnow.
Oh, like live bait?
Live bait.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Fishing was live bait.
I love to be able to, I love that we've been able to spend some time together.
Yeah, man.
The legacy that you've created. Congratulations on it.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I end every conversation talking about gratitude because it's such a big part of my life. Jake, what are 3 things in your life you're grateful for?
Sobriety. Not
Is that your
phones.
entrance theme?
Yeah, of course it is.
Hold on. Your ringer's your entrance theme.
Yeah.
Oh, and you just hung up on him.
Yeah, I just hung up on him. They shouldn't have
Hold
called me
on.
good.
That's amazing. It's his entrance
Sobriety.
theme.
I had it too. Sobriety, my children, and the second chance with my wife.
Mm.
You know, we were separated for 24 years.
Wow.
And we're back together.
How does that even happen?
It's just crazy, man. Getting sober.
That's pretty amazing.
That was the first step.
Wow. Well, thank you, sir. And
Thank you.
Everyone can go check out the cruise you guys have in February.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame cruise, February 23rd.
Through the 28th, yeah.
And wherever you're listening to this, of course, you can check out the Snake Pit podcast. The legend himself, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Man. Hey, if you guys are boarding the cruise, be sure to mention my name and they knock off 500, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For real?
For real.
Okay. There you go.
I dare you to get on.
You gonna have a snake on there?
Nope.